And on the line with us from Evolve PDX is Liberty, and Liberty is one of the organizers behind this weekend's Million Blanket March. Liberty, thank you so much for a few minutes of your time.
Thank you, Jacob. Thanks for having me on the show.
Tell us.
Glad to be here.
Thanks for coming on, man. I am so pumped for this event. And can you tell us, for our listeners who have no idea, what is the Million Blanket March?
Okay, the Million Blanket March. What we're doing is it's a part of the Op Safe Winter series, I guess you could say, that we've been doing since basically since the Million Mask March is kind of when it all started. It was a huge success, taking donations downtown to R2D2. And we've been kind of doing it once a month ever since. The Million Blanket March came from an idea that we had from our last Op Safe Winter. We usually just meet in Elephant Park and pass out donations, hang out for a while, make friends, share ideas, things like that. But I noticed that, and this is where the reason for the Million Blanket March comes from, I noticed that nobody was taking the blankets at our last op. We gave away a lot of the stuff. It was getting towards the end. We had this huge box of big, fluffy blankets because we get good quality stuff because we take donations from estate sales and things like that. Nobody was taking the blankets, and I kind of wondered out loud why, these good blankets were just sitting there. And that's when they explained to me that people are not allowed to have blankets, or they're getting their blankets taken, or if they see you with a blanket, then they go and mess with you and shoo you off. And,
Wow.
and this is in the middle of the night, early in the morning. People are getting their structures destroyed. The stuff is just basically getting taken and thrown away. And with, we were obviously down there to help out and hand out supplies. But when they told me this, I don't know. It was, kind of hitting the heart. I thought that's not right. I get there's, social issues we have to deal with. So I was thinking about it, and within a couple of days, I, went to the group, and I said, 3 words: Million Blanket March. Let's turn what we do, this kind of community action, into a kind of a protest. So we're gathering all these donations, and we're going to actually march over to City Hall. We're expecting a lot of people. We're going to be going through downtown, through Saturday Market. We're going to nail down the route. So
yeah.
It's going to be some fun stuff. We got some speeches planned. We have some speakers. I'll be speaking there. We're going to be passing out. I think we're going to have a cookout, in the park before we leave. We're going to be passing out some cookies. We're all going to put out our blankets on the floor in front of City Hall. Hopefully, if it's not raining. I got some really kind of fun, funny, politically correct bedtime stories, to read along with our speeches and things. To kind of make it fun and kind of get a laugh, because one of our aims with this event is to, based on because it's such a kind of a tense subject, is a nonviolent, peaceful, no antagonizing the cops kind of an event.
Right.
We can still have a mass action with it running smoothly and safely. So that's one of our goals, and that's part of the reasons why when I get out there and speak, I like to crack a few jokes and kind of lighten things up, because I take a lot of cues from, comedians who are actually also, social critics or activists, and that's just a great way to communicate ideas. It elevates your brain to a higher consciousness, and you're more receptive. If you're angry, if you're violent, that's not going to help anything. If smashing windows to help anything, we'd be doing that. It'd be the Million Window Smash March,
Right.
Bringing City Hall to their knees. I'm kidding.
Right.
But that's just what it is. It's like I said, it's a safe event. We're expecting, families and things like that. And so yeah, I know it's kind of a long explanation, but
no, that's great.
That's kind of where that comes from.
And I'm so with you. And I think it's pretty fair to say that, like most rational thinking people would understand that, if you're homeless on the streets in the cold, having a blanket is kind of like the least that we could do, for these folks. So how can people get involved, and how can people help out? And tell us when exactly the Million Blanket March is.
Million Blanket March is Sunday at noon. Sunday the 30th, March 30th at noon at Elephant Park downtown in Portland. When I say Elephant Park, I mean the park on Burnside and 8th.
Okay.
There's a giant elephant in there.
Okay.
So it's Burnside and 8th, and that's the park that we're meeting at. So it's the one we always meet at for the Op Safe Winter. We're starting there. We're going to hang out there for an hour or two. And to get involved, all you have to do is show up. You can check the Million Blanket March event page. You can check Evolve PDX for updates or information.
And for
to donate, you can just...
I'm sorry to cut you off, Liberty. I was just going to mention for our listeners, we've got links to both of those pages now up on our Facebook page, Filter Free Radio, as well, to help out folks.
Okay, great. Yeah, you can just message Evolve PDX because we have people all over the metropolitan area, and we actively take donations and contact people through Craigslist, so it's not a big deal if anyone has like a box of warm clothes or blankets or anything like that they want to donate or, just, kind of, support the cause. That's fine. Just message Evolve PDX. That's pretty much what it is.
Right.
We get a lot of donations by soliciting, or maybe not soliciting, but contacting Craigslist ads for estate sales, because when people are moving out or when they, pass on, there's just a lot of stuff there. And they try to sell it. They don't sell everything. Whatever doesn't sell, they just kind of give away. We go in there, we tell them what they do, or what we do, and that we donate to homeless folks downtown. A lot of them are veterans, by the way. We kind of lately have been telling them how the police and the, city hall has been treating them, and to any rational thinking person, that just makes a lot of sense that you wouldn't want to take their blankets. So we've been getting extra donations and extra support lately. So just from good people in the community, basically.
Excellent.
We kind of make it, we try to make it not about money. Like, we don't encourage people to spend money on this thing. They can if they want to. But the thing is, we're just trying to redistribute resources that are already out there. We're not looking to spend money and buy more things because there's already so much. There's such an abundance. People looking to kind of tap into that and, kind of recirculate it. And people are actually, don't realize that there's just a basic thing just to kind of give away of 2 or 3 blankets. It's not really a big deal to somebody who has a lot. 2 or 3 blankets to somebody who has nothing is a big deal. So we're just trying to communicate that idea as well.
Absolutely. And I'm so with you. And if folks are just joining us, we're speaking with Liberty from Evolve PDX, one of the organizers of the Million Blanket March here in Portland, Oregon, on Sunday, March 30th. They've got a Facebook page up for the event, and we've got a link to that on our Facebook page as well. Liberty, for the folks who might be listening outside of the PDX area, outside of Portland, is there a way for them to get involved, like on social media, on the Facebook page, and can they donate there?
Well, what we encourage people to do is maybe to kind of start their own,
Amen.
activity in their area.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
What was that?
I'm so with you. Get active and do. Yes, yeah. I'm so with you. So I don't mean to interrupt.
That's the other thing. That's the other thing why we want to have a peaceful march, because like I said, we've been doing this for once a month, and since November. In November we did it twice, once including Black Friday. And we have this really great filmmaker on our crew. I'm sure you've seen the trailers or some of the videos from our past actions. Mm-hmm. And people are looking at what we're doing. They're seeing our formula that it works. We just kind of take donations, redistribute them among people who need them. Not about money. There's no leaders, no rules, no memberships, none of that.
Right.
You know what I mean? So they take that model and they apply it to their community, and suddenly you have OpSafe winners popping up like dandelions all over the country, even in Europe. I saw pictures of an OpSafe winner from Bulgaria, I think, or Budapest, one of those places, and they're seeing our videos and what we're doing in over 30 countries around the world, and we're getting a couple thousand views at least. And so that's what this message is resonating with people. People are seeing this, and they're seeing what works because they're hungry for solutions. People need solutions.
Yes.
There's no solutions from the leader. They're searching for that light in the darkness. They're aware something is amiss. People want it. The better nature speaks to us.
Yep.
Our humanity, and we want to be involved. We want to do something. So sometimes people, they need to be led. I mean, not all of us are organizers of an activist group or have their own radio show to
yeah.
Go off steam. So
exactly.
This is just an easy way for people to be involved. Because if you pitch it in the sense that we use labels that kind of divide us whether we realize it or not. So when we say words or phrases like the homeless, kind of has a negative connotation. But when you realize that a lot of these homeless are veterans,
Right.
They're older folks, they're folks who have serious illnesses, they're children, they're human trafficking victims.
Exactly.
I mean, when we start to look at it like that, in a more human sense, then people begin to understand. A lot of people maybe just don't realize that they just have these prejudices in their mind. So it's back to the part where it's the veterans. That's kind of a subject I like to push with people because it's okay to send these guys off to these illegal genocidal wars, but when they come back and they need to stay and they need to stay warm, suddenly, sorry, I can't help you, bro. That doesn't make any sense.
Right, and you can't even
in Vietnam, and it's happening now.
And can't even have a blanket. I mean, really. So I mean, we're just talking about the basics here, And I'm so with you, man. Good on you guys for what you're doing. I can't wait to come out this Sunday and be involved. I'll be there. I hope more people will show up and make it happen. And if you're not in the Portland area, like Liberty says, make it happen in your area. You can do it. You have control over what you do in your own life. And thanks again, Liberty from Evolve PDX, for your time, man. Is there anything planned or coming up following the march? Is there like a follow-up thing? Is there a second Million Blanket March? You have any ideas for the future?
Well, right now we've been, like I said, we've been doing this for a while. Let's see, there's nothing planned for us in the immediate future because we have, the city of Portland has May Day coming up.
Yes.
It's always a huge gathering.
That's a big deal.
March against Monsanto at the end of May. So that's another huge one. They're, trying to get 10,000 people down there. So I think we're going to maybe be contributing our efforts to the larger actions that are going on because, like I said, we've been working pretty hard in these cold months. Our group just trying to make things happen, and so we'll keep you posted.
Please do.
We do have some fun stuff in the works, but nothing I can really talk about yet.
Excellent.
But at the very least, we have March Against Monsanto and May Day. I invite everyone to be a part of those mass actions. It's a great deal of unity and solidarity there. They always have great speakers. The other thing I just want to add before we wrap it up, thanks for having me on. Thanks for sharing the Million Blanket March and Evolve PDX with your listeners.
Yes. Is
that what we're trying to do is explore the line between legality and morality, because what is legal is not really moral, and the moral things that we're trying to achieve sometimes can be deemed as illegal. So what City Hall, the police do, all these wars that they start, those are all legal things. Everything, that Bush, Obama, Hitler, everything they did is legal.
Yep.
So we're trying to kind of just do away with that kind of, it's the law, I'm just doing my job kind of mentality, and just get down to helping people and finding real solutions for, real issues.
I'm so with you. One of my favorite authors is Henry David Thoreau from like a couple hundred years ago. And I'm going to quote this. It's not verbatim, but he writes in his piece called Civil Disobedience, words to the effect of, I would define a real man as someone who is willing to follow their morality and their conscience before following the law. And sometimes those are the same thing, and sometimes those conflict. And I mean, it's up to the individuals to, are you going to stand for your morals? So I'm so with you, brother. Keep up the good fight. Folks need to check out Evolve PDX and show up at the Million Blanket March this Sunday, March 30th in Portland, Oregon, noon. It is Northwest 8th and Burnside Elephant Park. Hope to see you there. Liberty, thanks again for your time.
Thanks a lot. Thanks for having me on.